Smart people rarely expect to struggle financially. From an early age, intelligence is rewarded. High grades bring praise. Logical thinking earns recognition. Analytical ability opens doors to good universities and stable careers. The pattern seems clear. Think better, perform better, earn more. And in many ways, that formula works. Smart people often secure respectable jobs. They enter competitive industries. They solve complex problems. They become engineers, analysts, consultants, physicians, architects, strategists. Their income rises steadily. Their careers look solid. Their lives appear structured. Yet a quiet contradiction emerges over time. Many highly intelligent individuals remain financially average. Not poor, but not free. Not struggling publicly, but not building real leverage. They trade time for money at a high level, but they rarely escape the structure itself. The reason is not lack of intelligence. It is that intelligence optimizes for logic. And logic, in stable systems, often works against asymmetry. Highly analytical people are trained to minimize error. They calculate downside. They examine probabilities. They seek efficiency. In corporate environments, this is valuable. Mistakes are expensive. Risk must be controlled. Precision is rewarded. Over time, this mindset becomes internalized. Safety becomes rational. Stability becomes intelligent. But wealth creation does not operate on the same logic as corporate optimization. Corporate success rewards consistency. Wealth creation often rewards asymmetry. An asymmetrical decision is one where the downside is limited but the upside is open-ended. Starting a scalable business, investing in equity early, building intellectual property, entering emerging industries, these moves rarely look safe at the beginning. The probabilities often seem low. The uncertainty feels uncomfortable. The spreadsheets do not guarantee success. For the highly logical mind, this creates friction. When an opportunity cannot be calculated with precision, it feels irrational. When the outcome cannot be forecast with confidence, it feels irresponsible. So the intelligent person waits. They gather more information. They refine the model. They improve the plan. Meanwhile, someone less analytical moves first. This is not because the less analytical person is smarter. It is because they are more tolerant of ambiguity. There is a difference between being intelligent and being ambiguity tolerant. Wealth often requires the second trait more than the first. Smart professionals frequently optimize within systems instead of outside them. They negotiate raises. They pursue promotions. They switch companies strategically. Each move increases income incrementally. From a logical standpoint, this makes sense. The risk is low. The reward is predictable. The path is clear. But incremental optimization rarely produces exponential outcomes. Salary structures are designed to be linear. Even high salaries remain capped by time and hierarchy. You can be exceptionally skilled and still operate within a ceiling defined by someone else's model. Highly intelligent individuals often underestimate how powerful systems are at absorbing talent without transferring ownership. Corporations compensate expertise generously enough to retain it, but rarely enough to distribute real leverage. Stock options may exist, but they are typically structured with layers of control above them. The intelligent employee understands the system, but understanding a system is not the same as owning it. Over time, comfort compounds. A strong salary supports a high standard of living. Fixed expenses increase. Lifestyle stabilizes. The cost of disruption rises. At this stage, risk is no longer just a financial variable. It becomes psychological. The analytical mind runs simulations. What if revenue is inconsistent? What if the business fails? What if reputation suffers? What if savings decline? Each scenario feels concrete. Each downside is vivid. The upside, however, is abstract. It is harder to model exponential growth than linear loss. The mind weighs visible risk more heavily than theoretical reward. This creates what could be called the logic trap. The smarter you are, the better you become at constructing arguments against uncertain action. You can justify waiting. You can justify caution. You can justify staying another year. Each decision is reasonable. Each step is defensible. And that is exactly why the trap works. Intelligence becomes a defense mechanism against volatility. But wealth rarely emerges from perfectly optimized caution. Many financially independent individuals did not act because the probability of success was high. They acted because the structure of the bet was asymmetrical. Limited downside, unlimited upside. Even if the likelihood was modest, the payoff justified the attempt. Highly analytical individuals often demand higher certainty before moving. Unfortunately, in asymmetric environments, certainty arrives late, after the upside has already been captured. Another pattern reinforces this dynamic. Identity. Smart people are often praised for being right. Their self-image is built around accuracy. Making a visible mistake can feel like a threat to identity. Starting something uncertain exposes the possibility of public failure. Remaining in a structured role protects reputation. Within a company, errors are contained. Outside it, they are personal. The more your identity is tied to being competent, the harder it becomes to enter arenas where incompetence is inevitable at the beginning. Entrepreneurial environments require visible imperfection. New ventures require experimentation. Early stages look messy. For someone trained to value polished performance, this phase feels uncomfortable. So they delay. They prepare longer. They research deeper. They refine more. Preparation feels productive. But preparation without exposure does not create leverage. None of this means that intelligence is a disadvantage. In fact, once combined with action and asymmetrical thinking, intelligence becomes a powerful accelerator. Analytical ability can reduce unnecessary risk. It can identify scalable opportunities. It can improve capital allocation. It can sharpen execution. The issue is sequence. When logic is used first to eliminate uncertainty entirely, movement stops. When logic is used after commitment to refine direction, it becomes an asset. Wealth is not built by eliminating risk. It is built by structuring risk. There is also a social element. Intelligent individuals often surround themselves with other high-performing employees. Their reference group values credentials, stability, and predictable progression. Leaving that path can feel irrational not only personally but socially. Deviating from the model introduces subtle judgment. Group norms shape ambition more than most people realize. If everyone around you optimizes for promotion, you will optimize for promotion. If everyone around you builds equity, you will consider equity normal. Environment influences what feels logical. The core difference between financially trapped smart individuals and financially free smart individuals is not IQ. It is their relationship with uncertainty. One group seeks clarity before acting. The other accepts partial clarity and adjusts while moving. The irony is that intelligence is fully capable of understanding this dynamic. Many smart professionals know, intellectually, that leverage matters more than salary. They understand ownership, compounding, scalable assets. They can explain it clearly. But understanding a principle does not override emotional discomfort. The real constraint is not cognitive ability. It is risk perception. If you are highly analytical and financially stuck, the solution is not to think more. It is to change the structure of your decisions. Begin with small asymmetrical bets. Build parallel streams gradually. Cap downside intentionally. Preserve runway. Then allow intelligence to optimize execution, not eliminate action. You do not need to abandon logic. You need to reposition it. Intelligence inside stable systems creates strong employees. Intelligence applied to asymmetric opportunities creates leverage. Smart people do not stay broke because they lack ability. They stay broke because they demand certainty in environments that reward movement. The world does not compensate accuracy alone. It compensates ownership, scale, and exposure to upside. Once that becomes clear, the question is no longer whether you are smart. It is whether you are willing to act before the model feels complete. Subscribe to understand business through psychology.